Okay, let's unpack this. Today we are doing the ultimate technological deep dive. We're looking at a groundbreaking patent application that claims to solve a cryptographic problem that's been around for nearly 50 years.
It's a huge claim.
A huge claim centered on a technology called HSKG and this core idea they call the ICE key.
And it's an astonishing one.
Yep.
But from what we've reviewed, and the source material is dense, patent filings, white papers, it really looks like they might have actually done it.
So that 50-year problem,
Hmm.
that's the key context, right? Ever since public key crypto came on the scene, think RSA back in 1976. We've been good at the math.
Oh, yeah, the math has always been solid. Creating a strong lock has never really been the problem.
The problem was the key, always the key. How do you keep the key itself safe?
Exactly. For a half a century, every single solution, whether it was a hardware security modules, smart cards, cloud services,
Yeah.
they all relied on storing the key somewhere.
And storage is always the weak point.
It's the single point of failure. If someone gets in physically or, with ransomware, it's game over. Even NIST's big post-quantum competition, it solved the quantum math problem. But that key storage issue was still this massive glaring hole.
So our mission today is pretty clear. We're going to analyze the masterstrokes in this patent that supposedly create a security solution that can stand up to a quantum computer.
And the inventor himself is just as interesting as the invention. He's known as JM, not your typical academic cryptographer.
Yeah.
He was an internet pioneer. He founded the first PC Bang, or internet cafe, in Korea back in 1990. And then he spent years basically in isolation in a place called Daegwallyeong, just synthesizing 35 years of experience into this one solution.
So let's start with that solution. The ICE key, the whole idea is just, it's revolutionary. If storage is the problem, well...
Why store the key at all?
Exactly.
And that's their whole philosophy. Attack what is not there. It's brilliant. The ICE key is totally ephemeral. It exists for just long enough to do its job, sign a transaction, decrypt something, and that's it.
And how long is that?
We're talking 0.024 seconds.
24 milliseconds. And after that...
It's gone. Instantly destroyed using something called memory zeroization. The system just overwrites the memory space with zeros. All of that happens in less than 0.1 milliseconds. It's never written to a log, never saved to a drive. It just vanishes.
Which means ransomware just has nothing to attack. The target literally doesn't exist long enough to be held hostage.
That's it. But think about the physical side of it, too. That 0.024-second lifespan is over 4,000 times faster than a human can react.
Wow.
So even if someone had your device in their hands and tried to do, like, a memory dump while the key was live, it's physically impossible. The key destroys itself before they can even start.
The speed is its own defense. But, okay, here's the critical question. If it's completely destroyed, how in the world do you use it again? Do you have to go through some painful setup every single time?
Not at all. And this is the magic. It's regenerated deterministically, meaning you can recreate the exact same key bit for bit every single time, as long as you provide the exact same inputs. The whole regeneration process takes about 1 second.
And the input data isn't a password, I'm guessing?
No passwords to phish or crack. The input is a live fusion of your current biometric data and your current contextual data. So, where you are, what time it is, and your own body's signals.
So the key is rebuilt from you, from your unstealable living identity.
That's the 50-year solution. The key isn't stored anywhere because the ingredients to make the key are always present in the living, moving person.
That is where it gets really interesting, and it leads us right to the inventor's journey, because this idea didn't just appear out of nowhere.
Absolutely not. It's the result of a 35-year arc. I mean, think about it. 1990, he's building the very infrastructure to get people online in Korea. Then, his next move in 2001.
Right.
He's working on e-government solutions that use postal codes and virtual IDs to tie a digital identity to a real-world location.
So he was already working on spatiotemporal binding tying identity to space and time 20 years before he patented this.
He had the seed of the idea. He saw that your location, your identity, those are the original unstealable secrets. But it wasn't just practical experience. The sources show this intense, systematic 10-year period of learning.
From 2014 to 2024.
Yeah, he took over 25 courses from the best places. Stanford for Crypto On2, MIT for the heavy math, Princeton for Bitcoin.
He fused decades of industry know-how with a decade of deep theoretical learning. It's no wonder he just won the 2024 FinTech Patent Grand Prize.
And this isn't just theory. It's being built into critical infrastructure right now. His current project is this massive smart infrastructure project in Gangwon-do province for urban air mobility.
UAM, so drone-based public transit.
Exactly. And you can't have public transit drones without absolute ironclad security. The HSKG system provides the quantum-resistant authentication for the drones themselves.
But the spatiotemporal binding must be key there.
It's critical. They use it to restrict where the drones can fly. The drone's key is only valid within a specific GPS corridor. If it strays, its operational key becomes useless. It's technology for social control and safety, really.
Okay. The speed protecting the key makes sense. But let's talk about that headline number. That staggering security claim of 2 to the minus 1744. I mean, that number it's almost abstract.
It's astronomical. The number of atoms in the known universe is what, around 2 to the 266?
Yeah.
So this is just orders of magnitude beyond that.
So how do they get there?
They get there with what the patent calls a patent fortress. It's an adaptive defense system made of up to 4 active layers. So if one layer somehow fails, you still have 3 more protecting the key.
All right, let's break that fortress down layer by layer. Let's start with the physical defense. You said it uses biometrics for multiple devices. An iPhone, an Apple Watch, smart glasses.
That's layer 1. It's what they call multi-biometric fusion and continuous liveness detection. So for example, your Apple Watch is constantly monitoring your heart rate variability, your HRV.
The rhythm of your heart.
Exactly. At 10-second intervals, it checked that your unique heart rhythm has at least a 75% similarity to your verified baseline. So if you take the watch off, or, well, if your heart stops, the input to create the key is gone.
So a thief could steal all your devices, but unless they also steal your living, beating heart with its specific rhythm, they have nothing.
Precisely. And the smart glasses add another layer. This is maybe the coolest part. They call it proof of physical reality, or POPR.
POPR.
It runs a pupil response test. The glasses flash a light, and to pass, your physical pupil has to change size by more than 30%. A deepfake video, a photo, an AI avatar. None of them have a physical pupil that can react to light. It's the ultimate test to prove you are a real living human and not an AI.
That's fascinating. But let me push back a little. Does this mean my security depends on me wearing 3 expensive devices that all have to be charged? What if my watch battery dies?
That's a great question, and it's a valid one. The system is adaptive, that's the key. For a low-risk transaction like just logging into an app, maybe it only requires 1 or 2 layers. But for signing, say, a multi-million-dollar contract, yeah, it's going to demand all 4 layers are active, including all the devices. The security scales with the risk.
All right, so from the physical, let's go to the contextual, layer 2. Spatiotemporal binding.
This is claim 5 in the patent. It's brilliant. The key isn't just tied to who you are, but where and when you are.
A time and a place.
A very specific time and place. The key is only valid within plus or minus 10 meters of GPS coordinate and a 30-second time window. So even if a super advanced attacker somehow managed to copy the key data, if they try to use it a minute later or even just down the street, it's useless. The time-space coordinates are baked into the key itself.
Physical and contextual. Got it. Now for the math. Layers 3 and 4, the quantum resistance.
Right, so layer 3 is the new gold standard from NIST. It uses the post-quantum algorithms, ML-Chem, which is Kyber, and MLDSA, which is dilithium. These are the ones everyone believes can resist a quantum attack.
So why do you need a 4th layer on top of that?
For diversity. It's a hedge against the unknown. Layer 4 uses older, but totally different, PQC algorithms like NTRU prime and classic Maclise.
Different math.
Completely different mathematical foundations. So if, in some wild scenario, a discovery is made tomorrow that breaks all lattice-based crypto like Kyber, the key is still safe behind a completely separate mathematical wall. That's how you get to a number like 2 to the minus 1744.
This sounds unavoidable for competitors. Okay, let's pivot to what this all means, the economics. If HSKG is layer 0, what does that actually mean for something like Bitcoin, which is a layer 1?
Think of it as the foundation the whole house is being on. Layer 0 provides the human-centric authentication and the KYCML compliance underneath everything else.
So it verifies the human before the transaction even gets to the Bitcoin network.
Exactly. Bitcoin knows an address is sending assets. It doesn't know if that address belongs to a verified human. HSKG provides that proof of physical reality, that human verification that sits below the blockchain itself.
And the economic impact of that, especially for banks and compliance, must be huge.
It's a massive disruption. Right now, the financial industry spends about $58 per customer per year on KYC and AML checks. It's a huge cost.
And HSKG.
Because it's all automated, continuous, and non-storage, it cuts that cost by over 99.5%. down to something like 0.0003 a transaction. You're talking about a potential market of over $300 billion a year just from that efficiency.
And it also solves the single biggest problem for regular crypto users, doesn't it? The wallet problem.
Oh, absolutely. The mnemonic phrase, those 12 magic words. You lose them, your money's gone forever, they get stolen, you're wiped out. It's a nightmare for usability.
With HSKG.
There's no need for them. The key's
That
never stored, so there's nothing to recover with a static phrase. If you, the living verified human, are present, the key regenerates. It totally changes the game for digital asset management.
And what about that future-proofing aspect? The defense against advanced AI and humanoids?
I think this is one of the most critical functions. As deepfakes get perfect, as robots get smarter, that proof of physical reality, that POP-R layer, becomes the only thing you can trust.
The people response tests.
And the heart rate variability.
Yeah.
Things that are uniquely physically human. It's how you ensure an AI can't just impersonate someone and drain their accounts. Only a living, breathing human can authorize the transaction.
The potential is clearly enormous. The sources mention over $400 billion across 20 industries, but they single out real estate and inheritance. Why those two?
Because they're about high-value, long-term security. Real estate is about secure contract signing and tokenizing massive assets. Inheritance is about managing digital wealth across generations. You need a key system that is unbreachable during a person's life and can be securely managed after.
The tech is incredible. Let's talk strategy. They're in negotiations with some absolute giants: SoftBank, NVIDIA, Google, NIST. Why do these players, who have their own massive security teams, need this?
Because each one has a very specific, almost existential problem that only the ICE key seems to solve. For SoftBank, it's about robots. They need to verify the operator of their humanoid robots. A robot doesn't have a heart, so the HRV check instantly proves whether the commands are coming from a human operator or an autonomous AI.
That is an amazing use case. And Google, with billions of Android devices.
For Google, it's two things. First, securing all those devices against the coming quantum threat. And second, integrating this non-storing architecture into Google Cloud. Imagine replacing all the static stored keys in their data centers with ephemeral ICE keys. It would just erase a massive amount of their risk.
And NVIDIA, they're sitting on the world's most valuable data right now.
Their AI models, the training data, the weights, that's their crown jewels. They need HSKG to use spatiotemporal binding to lock down that IP.
So you could make it so a researcher can only access a specific AI model if their biometrics are verified and their GPS shows they are physically inside a secure NVIDIA data center.
Exactly. It physically binds the data access to the trusted researcher in a trusted location. No more remote IP theft.
It's just so clear this was designed from day one to be globally compliant and resilient.
Come on, 100%. It's designed to meet regulations like GDPR because it never permanently stores your biometric data. And then you have the integration with Starlink satellites to ensure it works almost anywhere on the planet. It's a true planetary scale layer zero.
What an incredible journey through this material. We really started with this nagging 50-year-old problem of key storage, and we've ended up with a technology that's quantum resistant, AI-proof, and operates globally from space. So just to summarize the key takeaways for you. First, the ICE key solves the storage problem by basically solving the time problem. It only exists for 0.024 seconds. Second, security is now physical as much as it is mathematical. It's your heart rhythm and your pupil response that help create that 2 to the minus 1744 defense. And third, this is the kind of layer zero foundation we'll need for the AI era, and it could cut KYC costs by 99.5%.
So here's the final thought to leave you with. If the most powerful encryption in the world now relies on measuring a 30% change in your pupil size and the unique rhythm of your heart, does that mean our most secure digital future isn't actually tied to just math, but to the verifiable, continuous living presence of our physical body?